Nope.
Okay, all right. So let's get started. And you know what, Amaya, since you were the last one to introduce yourself, why don't you be the first one to read? Can you show us your book? And you know what? Can you just tell us briefly why you chose that book?
Um,
Well, show us the cover of the book first.
it's called Babysitter's Little Sister, Karen's Birthday. And the reason why I chose this book, because sometimes, if you have a worst day, you can just look at somebody else's worst day and see how it compares to you.
That is a great, you know what? That
I
is a
love
great
that.
coping mechanism. I mean, whenever we have a bad day and we think that we have it rough, there's people out there that have it a lot more rougher than we do. A
Mm,
lot more. So we need to be thankful for what we have and be grateful. You know what I mean?
I like that, Amaya, showing gratitude. Everyone's situation is different, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. All right, young lady, go ahead.
So I stopped on 14. Okay. I think you were just dreaming. Oh wait, no. That was one. That was the wrong one. Mm. Oh, okay. Found it. It's empty. Oh no. Someone at the cereal company must have made a mistake. Though this means bad control people. Hey Karen, you can still share my prize. I'll give you half of the stickers. Okay, thank you, Andrew. It's nice that Andrew is going to share his prize with me, but I don't have a prize of my own. Christine and I are twins, but I don't have my new jeans. So far, today has been half bad. Chapter 3. Oh, my favorite show is on now. Maybe watching it will help cheer me. Zoom, click. Did too. Oh, did I miss the page? Oh, yeah. Andrew, my show is on now. So I was going to watch it. Well, I'm watching my cartoons, but I want to watch my show and I want to watch my cartoons. You can't. I already am. No! Leave it alone. I got here first. Did too. Did not. Didn't you see me sitting right there? Yes, but the TV was off. So what? I was about to. Hey. What is going on in here? I wanted to watch my show, but Andrew turned on his cartoons. Andrew, how long is your show? An hour? Mine is only a half an hour. Okay, Karen, you can watch your show. When it's over, Andrew can finish watching his show. That way, you each get one half hour of the show you like. Now, no more fighting. Wow, finally, some good luck. For today, only we are airing a special report. We will return to our regular program tomorrow. What? Oh no, my show isn't even on today. You can watch your cartoon, I guess. Thanks. You can still have half the stickers. Thanks. That's it. A pet can be a very good friend on a day. Oh, Chanel. Good. You're awake. Come outside and play with me. Come on, Chanel. Let's play tag. Go get the stick. Hmm? Chanel. Fine, now just go and get Boo Boo. Shake. Okay, let's play. Destiny. Ha ha ha. Chapter 4. Boo Boo, come down. Destiny isn't going to hurt you. Darn old Destiny. Why does she have to be in her garden right now? Hey, Boo Boo, look what I have for you. Karen Brewer, You come down from that tree this instant. Boo boo. Hooray! But I have to stay very still and quiet so Boo Boo feels safe to come down. What is Destiny up to? Oh, Venus sticks. The witch is on the loose. Mom, I'm going over to Lenny's house. Okay, Lenny is my friend. Hannah's brother. Maybe playing with Hannah will make my day better. I'm going with Dave and Michael. Okay. No, you're not. Yes, I am. No, you're not. Why is Dave and Michael being so mean? Did Destiny put a spell on him? Is Phenosticks a spell for meanness? Yes, I am. I want to see Hannah. I can go over there if I want. Okay, but don't go with me. Dave and Michael. Ding dong. Smack. Hi, guess what? We were just coming over to see you. You were? Good. That means you're free. Free? Go bike riding. We're riding to Harry's Brook. We're going to look for water spiders and catch frogs and crawfish. We even brought sandwiches for lunch and cookies, a real picnic. Neat. Let me ask Mom if I can go. Well, thanks a lot. What's wrong? What's wrong? You know, I can't go bike riding. That's what's wrong. I'm not allowed to ride my bike until my cast comes off. And I can't go wandering in brooks. Either I might get the cast wet. It's not fair. It's just not fair. How can you be so mean, Hannah? You are a bad friend. I'm not. Are so. I'm not. Are so too. Maybe Hannah's under the meanest spell too. I'm not so too. Okay, I can go. Mom sliced up apples for the picnic. Let's go get our bike. You call me a bad friend. I'm glad you can't come with us. We don't want you. Well, I wouldn't want to go on a picnic with a bad friend, so there, Slim. Why does my day keep getting worse? It is all Destiny's fault. Or am I just having an awful, rotten day? That's all I'm going to read today.
Good job, Amaya. Listen, I have to say, I appreciate your inflections and putting your personality and giving the different characters in the book their own voice. I really appreciate that. But what was funny to me was it reminded me when you were reading the book and you were kind of like going back and forth in your chair, it kind of reminded me of when I was younger and how I would study. When I got home, I would have the TV on and I would have the radio playing in the background, and I was able to focus. And everybody's different in how they approach things and approach education and approach studying. And I was just curious to see how everybody else approaches studying. Evelyn, you got your hand up? Is that you, Evelyn?
Great job, Amaya.
So,
Thank
you know,
you.
Ayana, how do you study? Like, do you need total quiet? Or do you have like, what kind of distractions do you have to kind of keep you to focus? Which kind of sounds crazy that you need a distraction to focus, but
I mean, I just study in whatever circumstances. As long as I have the material I need, I'm good.
you're good. Okay, cool. Daniel, what about you? What you need pure quiet, or do you have like something playing in the background when you're studying? Oh, your mic's off.
I do need peace and quiet to I do need peace and quiet to study on my things.
Yeah, okay. What about you, Evelyn? We heard the music in the background. Do you play music when you're when you're studying, doing your homework? You need peace and quiet? Okay. And
I do online class, so they just give us like online assignments and all that, so I don't really have to have peace and quiet.
Oh, okay, okay. Audi, can you want to introduce the newbie that just popped up on
Oh, yes. Good morning, Amaya.
Morning.
Amaya,
Good
why?
morning.
Amaya, why? We have two Amayas today. So we have Amaya
Oh,
White that just recently hopped into the studio. So welcome. Good morning. How are you
Ama-
doing?
Good.
That's good.
Amaya, what
Thanks.
grade are you in?
Thank you.
6.
Sixth grade. Nice, nice.
Are you going to read for us this morning?
Yeah.
What book are you reading? Tell us the book and why did you
I'm
choose it?
reading Wonder.
Oh,
First cover, but I'm
what did,
starting the 3rd chapter, I think.
but why did you choose that book?
Um, I like. I chose this book because I think it's an inspiring book to like be yourself and not think of what other people think about you.
Okay, all right.
That's
That's good.
nice.
That's good to have, and I like your LED lights in the background too.
Thank you.
They change colors.
Mhm.
Nice. All right, I'm gonna stop interrupting you. Go ahead.
Driving. It was a long drive home. I fell asleep in the back seat like I always do. My head on Via's lap like she was my pillow, a towel wrapped around the seatbelt so I wouldn't drool all over her. Via fell asleep too, and Mom and Dad talked quietly about grown-up things I didn't care about. I didn't know how long I was sleeping, but when I woke up, there was a full moon outside the car window. It was a purple night, and we were driving on a highway full of cars. And then I heard Mom and Dad talking about me. We can't keep protecting him, Mom whispered to Dad, who was driving. We can't just pretend he's going to wake up tomorrow and this isn't going to be his reality because it is, Nate, and we have to help him learn to deal with it. We can't just keep avoiding situations that. So sending him off to a middle school like a lamb to the slaughter? Dad answered angrily, but he didn't even finish his sentence because he saw me in the mirror looking up. What's a lamb to the slaughter? I asked sleepily. Go back to sleep, Augie, Dad said softly. Everyone will stare at me at school, I said suddenly crying. Honey, Mom said. She turned around in the front seat and put her hand on my hand. You know if you don't want to go to this, you don't have to. But we spoke to the principal there and told him about you and he really wants to meet you. What did you tell him about me? How funny you are, how kind and smart. When I told you the when I told him you read Dragon Rider when you were 6, he was like, "Wow, I have to meet this kid." Did you tell him anything else? I said. Mom smiled at me. Her smile kind of hugged me. I told him about all your surgeries and how brave you are, she said. So he knows what I look like? I asked. Well, we brought pictures from last summer in Montauk, Dad said. We showed him pictures of the whole family and the great shot of you holding that flounder on the boat. You were there too? I have to admit, I felt a little disappointed that he was a part of this. We both talked to him. Yes, Dad said. He's a really nice man. You would like him, Mom added. Suddenly, it felt like they were on the same side. Wait, so when did you meet him? I said. He took us on a tour of the school last year, Mom said. Last year? I said. So you've been thinking about this for a whole year and didn't tell me? We didn't know if you'd even get in, Augie, answered Mom. It's a very hard school to get into. There's a whole admissions process. I didn't see the point in telling you and having you get all worked up about it unnecessarily. But you're right, Augie. We should have told you when we found out last month that you got in, said Dad. In hindsight, sighed Mom. Yeah, I guess. Did that lady who came into the house that time have something to do with this? I said. That one that gave me the test? Yes, actually, Mom said, looking guilty. Yes. You told me it was an IQ test, I said. I know, well, that was a white lie, she answered. It was a test you needed to take to get into the school. You did very well on it, by the way. So you lied? I said. A white lie. But yes, sorry, she said, trying to smile, but when I didn't smile, she turned around in her seat and faced forward. What's the lamb to the slaughter? I said. Mom sighed and gave Daddy a look. I shouldn't have said that, Dad said, looking at me in the rearview mirror. It's not true. Here's the thing. Mommy and I love you so much. We want to protect you any way we can. It's just sometimes we want you to go into different ways. I don't want to go to school, I answered, folding my arms. It would be good for you, Augie, said Mom. Maybe I'll go next year, I answered, looking out the window. This year would be better, Augie, said Mom. You know why? Because you'll be going into 5th grade, and that's the first year of middle school for everyone. You won't be the only new kid. I'll be the only kid who looks like me, I said. I'm not going to say it won't be a big challenge for you, because you know better than that, she answered. But I'll be good for you, Augie. You'll make lots of friends, and you'll learn new things you've never learned with me. She turned in her seat again and looked at me. When we took the tour, they had a science lab. A little baby chick was just hatching out of its egg. It was so cute. Augie, it actually kind of reminded me of you when you were a little baby, with those big brown eyes of yours. I usually love when they talk about when I was a baby. Sometimes I want to curl up into a little tiny ball and let them hug me and kiss me all over. I miss being a baby, not knowing stuff, but I wasn't in the mood for that now. I don't want to go, I said. How about this? Can you at least meet Mr. Tishman before making up your mind? Mom asked. Mr. Tishman, I said. He's the principal, answered Mom. Mr. Tishman, I repeated. I know, right? Dad answered, smiling and looking at me in the rearview mirror. Can you believe that name, Augie? I mean, who on earth would ever agree to have a name like Mr. Tishman? I smiled, even though I didn't want to let them see me smile. Dad was the one person in the world who could make me laugh no matter how much I didn't want to laugh. Dad always made everyone laugh. Augie, you know you should go to that school just so you can hear his name all over the loudspeaker, Dad said excitedly. Can you imagine how funny that would be? Hello, hello, paging Mr. Tishman. He was a he was he was using a fake high old lady voice. Hi, Mr. Tishman. I see you're running a little behind today. Did your car get rear-ended again? What a bum ramp. I started laughing, not even because I thought he was being that funny, because I wasn't in the mood to stay mad anymore. It could be worse though, Dad continued in his normal voice. Mommy and I had a professor in college named Miss Butt. Mom was laughing too now. Is that for real? I said. Roberta Butt, Mom answered, raising her hand as if to swear. Bobby Butt. She had huge cheeks, said Dad. Nate, said Mom. What? She had big cheeks is all I'm saying. Mom laughed and shook her head at the same time. Hey, I know, said Dad excitedly. Let's fix them up on a blind date. Can you imagine? Miss Butt meet Miss Tishman. Mr. Tishman, here's Miss Butt. They can get married and have a bunch of little tushies. Poor Mr. Tishman, answered Mom, shaking her head. Augie hasn't even met the man yet. Nate? Who's Mr. Tishman? Thea said groggily. She had just woken up. He's the principal of my new school, I answered. Paging Mr. Tishman. I would have been more nervous about meeting Mr. Tishman if I'd known I was going to meet some kids from a new school. But I didn't know so, if anything. I was kind of giggly, and I couldn't stop thinking about all the jokes Daddy had made about Mr. Tishman's name. So when me and Mom arrived at the Breacher Prep for a few weeks before the school start, and I saw Mr. Tishman standing there waiting for us at the entrance, I started giggling right away. He didn't look at all like what I pictured though. I guess I thought he would have a huge butt and didn't, but he didn't. In fact, he was a pretty normal guy, tall and thin, old but not really old. He seemed nice. He shook my mom's hand first. "Hi, Mr. Tishman. It's nice to see you again," said Mom. "This is my son, August." Mr. Tishman looked right at me and smiled and nodded. He put his hand out for me to shake. "Hi, August," he said, total normally. "It's a pleasure to meet you." "Hi," under I mumbled, dropping my hand into his hand while I looked down at his feet. He was wearing red Adidas. "So," he said, kneeling down in front of me. I couldn't look at his sneakers, but had to look at his face. "Your mom and dad have told me a lot about you." "Like, what have they told you?" I asked. "Sorry?" "Honey, you have to speak up," said Mom. "Like what?" I asked, trying not to mumble. I admit I have a habit of mumbling. "Well, that you like to read," said Mr. Tishman, "and that you're a great artist. You had blue eyes and white eyelashes. And you're into science, right?" "Uh-huh," I said, nodding. "We have a couple of great electives at Breacher." He said, "Maybe you'll take one of them?" "Uh-huh," I said, though I had no idea what an elective was. "So you're ready to take a tour?" "You mean we're doing that now?" I said. "Did you think we're going to the movies?" he answered, smiling as he stood up. "You didn't tell me we were taking a tour," I said to Mom in my accusing voice. "Augie," she started to say. "It'll be fine, August," said Mr. Tushman, holding his hand out to me. "I promise." I think he wanted me to take his hand, but I took Mom instead. He smiled and started walking toward the entrance. Mommy gave my hand a little squeeze, though I didn't know if it was an "I love you" squeeze or an "I'm sorry" squeeze. Probably a little bit of both. The only school I'd ever been inside was Via's, when I went with Mom and Dad to watch Via sing in spring concerts and stuff like that. This school was very different. It was smaller and it smelled like a hospital.
Nice. Good job. Good job. Thank you, Amaya. You said a
Beautiful.
word in there that I was curious to know if you understood what it meant. Elective. Do you know what that is? Can you explain to our young scholars and anyone else watching what you think an elective means?
An elective is kind of like something you can attend to for your school, like a club or a class.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Good explanation. Yeah, but when you're in school, you have what they call core classes, and I know there's another term for it, that you have to take your maths and your Englishes and your science. Electives are classes that you have the option to take, or classes that you choose to take. And when you move on to college, you'll have your core classes too that you need to take for your major, and then you'll have electives. Maybe if you major in business and then you minor in philosophy, and those classes that you take on the philosophy side may be called electives.
Hmm.
And some of us just want to take all electives, but
You got to take your
unfortunately,
core classes too, right?
who needs math? Who needs English?
Yeah,
I just want to take anime.
some electives are like home economics. I didn't have that in when I was in school, but I know people that have had the opportunity to have that as an elective, or like maybe a certain kind of art class, a few
Mhm.
different things.
I
That's
had home ec when I was in school, and I
nice.
also had cursive, but they don't teach
Oh,
cursive writing anymore. So,
yeah, they don't.
no. So next up, Evelyn. Great job, Amaya. Thank you. You ready to roll, Evelyn? You ready to go? What's your book? You reading the same book from last week?
Yeah, the dog makes stuff fun.
Nice. Okay.
Where's the music coming from?
I don't know. Who's playing music?
If you
Oh,
hear
no one.
one of me and my mom is coming.
Okay.
I'm wondering, do you hear it when she's unmuted?
We don't hear it now, but we heard it before. We thought that she was playing that intentionally because we were talking about ways of studying.
Oh no, yeah, no. I don't know
Demar
where
said
that
that
was coming from
was
either.
Evelyn's intro music. Be on standby, Mom. All right, Evelyn, you're up.
I was just finding my page. That was almost time. Inside, broken toys are going to the hospital and coming out all better. Sonny looks through his broken. How can this be? He works. After all, Doc is a kid. Suddenly, kid fixes him once. And the lion ended up with bunny feet. Stuffy smiles. Oh, Doc's good. I should know she's my kid. Suddenly doesn't think Doc will want Stuffy any longer. You're broken. Then tell you that they still love you, but then you get left behind in the airport. That's what happens to suddenly it left him with a broken heart. But Doc is a special kid at that very moment. After Pet is telling her Stuffy has been
You want to spell it out? Spell the letters? Spell the letters, Evelyn. Give me the letters so I can help you.
captured.
Okay.
Doc is finished. Doc is finished fixing her pet. Grandma promises to take care of things while Doc runs Stuffy. Many toys want to help Doc together. They heard for broken towers. But broken towers has an action. Sometimes suddenly pushes some buttons. At first, he keeps everyone out. Finally, with Doc's help, two toys break through a brick window. They apply suddenly sometimes. Suddenly realizes the same time isn't working. He pulls one last lever. Repair. His arm tears. It's time for us to go, he tells Tiger. Suddenly, don't go. You're hurt, Doc can help you, Stuffy ignores. Suddenly, Sharks, his had my arm doesn't hurt me as much as a broken heart. Doesn't he grill away on a zip line? Good bee! And I'm going to be reading that for today. So I'm going to read for
Thank
today.
you, Evelyn. Thank you very much. And listen, I like the way how sometimes when you get stuck, you keep pushing and you keep pushing, and that's how you get better. So if you're ever stuck on a word, just spell it out, and then we'll all, as a team, as a group, will help you get the
No, my
word.
mom
Okay?
came. My mom came.
Oh yeah, no, I sensed her. My spidey senses were tingling. I sensed her in the background, and I know she would help you. But we're all here to help you, and you
Yeah,
did
my
a
mom
great
comes
job.
out of nowhere.
That's what
She just
moms
is like,
do. That's what moms do. Thank you.
Great job,
Ayana,
Evelyn.
thank you.
You're welcome.
you're welcome. Ayana, you ready to rock and roll? I'm gonna take those facial expressions as a yes.
I love the
You're up.
eyebrows. Can you do it again?
I can never do that with my eyebrow. Like stick one up and one down.
Hey. Hear the music? Where's the music come from?
I don't know. That might be Daryl doing.
Where is it coming from?
That dude, I can't say it though.
Y'all hear that?
Where's the music coming from?
From the weird old guy in the back.
Hi,
Hi, Ayana.
I'm doing once another continuation of the Babysitter's Club Book 1, Christy's Great Idea.
Nice.
Pointed to a picture, Claudia painted the posters, and she pointed to a picture of the horse galloping through a desert, and another of a girl sitting in a window seat gazing outside. Boy, if I lived in New York, I wouldn't leave for anything, Marianne went on. Tell me what it's like to live there. What's your school like? Well, began Stacy, I went to a private school. Did you have to wear a uniform? Claudia asked, shuddering. Nope, we could wear regular clothes. How did you get to school? Asked Marianne. On a subway? Wow. Once, Stacy added, seeing how impressed Marianne was, I took the subway all the way from our apartment to Coney Island. I had to change about a zillion times. Wow. Did you ever take a cab by yourself? Sure, lots of times. Wow. At Marianne's last wow, we all began giggling. Well, anyway, I said, to get back to the Babysitter's Club, what I think we should do is make 2 lists. One of rules and one of things to do. Does this mean, Stacy interrupted me, that I'm in the club? Of course, I said. Oh, hey, great, Stacy exclaimed, grinning, and Claudia gave her a thumbs up. Then she pulled out a package of peanut M&Ms from under her pillow. We should celebrate, she said, handing the candy around. Marianne and I were starved and each gobbled down a handful, but Stacy just looked at the package and passed it back to Claudia. You've only got 5 left. Go ahead, said Claudia. I got tons of stuff stashed away. Mom and Dad don't know about it. She said she had bubble gum in her shoes, chocolate bar behind her encyclopedia, a pack of Twinkies in her desk drawer, some wintergreen lifesavers in her piggy bank. No thanks, said Stacy. I'm on a diet. You? I cried. You're skinny already. Stacy was the first person my age I knew who was on a diet. How much do you weigh? I demanded. Christy, Claudia explained. That's none of your business. But it's not safe to diet when you don't need to. My mom said. Does your mother know you're dieting? Well, I bet she doesn't. At that moment, someone knocked on Claudia's door. Marianne, Janine called. Your father phoned on the other line. He said it's time for you to go home. Marianne looked at her watch. 6:10, she cried. Oh no, I'm late. Dad hates it when I'm late. Thanks, Janine. I've got to go. Love you guys. Wait, I said. We didn't finish making our plans. Let's meet tomorrow at recess, suggested Claudia. Really? I said. Recently, Claudia has been spending all of recess watching the cute boys play basketball. She never wants to play foursquare or tetherball with Marianne and I. Sure, she said. As soon as we're done with lunch, we'll meet outside by the gym door. Somebody remember to bring a pad of paper and a pen. I will, I volunteered. Marianne stood up and practically flew home. I better go too, said Stacy. Me too, I said. Claudia walked us to the door, and we went our separate ways. The Friday lunch at Stony Brook Middle School was always the same. Sloppy Joes, Jell-O, with canned fruit in it, and a dinky cup of coleslaw. Milk, and finally, a fudgesicle. I truly hated it. Well, except for the fudgesicle. After Mary and I had forced down as much as possible, we ran outside to wait for Claudia and Stacy. We hadn't sat with them in the cafeteria because they were eating at a table full of sophisticated 7th graders who we hardly knew, and some boys. How could they eat with boys? That was beyond me. The boys are always doing gross things, like smushing up peas and ravioli in their milk cartons to see what colors they can make. Claudia seems to think those things are hilarious. So Marianne and I reached the gym door first. We played a game of tetherball while we waited. I won. I usually do. Pretty good at sports. Hi, you guys, Claudia called Claudia about 10 minutes later. She and Stacy were walking across the playground. Hi, we yelled. The four of us went to the quietest corner of the school building and sat down on some empty packing crates. I got a paper and a pen, I said. And something else. I pulled out a list that I had made Tuesday night from my pocket and pointed to section 2, which was labeled advertising. This is what we have to do next. Let people know what we're doing. Right, agreed Claudia from underneath an outrageous red felt hat, which her teacher wouldn't allow her to wear in the classroom. I think flyers are the easiest way to tell people about the club. I mean, we can make a nice ad and then copy it at my mom's office. Then we can stick them to people's mailboxes and do it in other neighborhoods and other streets too. Anywhere that's within bike riding distance. Marianne, your dad would let you sit in another neighborhood if it weren't too far away, would he? I guess so, Marianne replied uncertainly. I saw Stacy glance curiously at Marianne. Good, I said. Now we already have a name. The Babysitters Club. Do you think we should have some kind of symbol or sign, like the symbol that's on the Girl Scout cookies or the sign that's on the stationery my mom uses? Yeah, says Stacy. That's a good idea. You can put it on the top of our flyers. And Claudia, you can draw something for us. I don't know, said Claudia. Come on, you're a great artist, we all reasoned. You can draw anything. I know I can draw, but I'm not good at, symbols and stuff. Janine's better at those things. Oh, forget Janine, I said. Anyways, we're going to all think of a symbol because we're the club, and we have to agree on things. Now, what should we use? It could be either something that has to do with babysitters, like a child or a helping hand, or it could just be something like a rainbow or a shooting star or a frog. A frog! I burst out. We all began to giggle. So did Marianne. Marianne looked kind of embarrassed at the end, but then she started to laugh again. What about a warthog? Suggested Claudia. A nerd's candy, suggested Stacy. Dog food. We were all laughing so hard we could barely talk. Okay, let's be serious, I said when we had calmed down. Lunch is going to be over in 10 minutes. What about something with our names in it? Suggested Stacy. Yeah, Marianne and Claudia and I. But then we couldn't think of anything. How about an alphabet block with the 4 of our initials on it? Said Marianne. That's cute, said Claudia, but there are 4 of us and you can't show more than 3 sides of a block at a time. Oh, yeah, said Marianne slowly. Claudia understands what kind of thing better than we do. Wait a minute, Claudia cried. I've got it. We could draw something like this. She took the pen and paper and drew the Babysitters Club on building blocks. That's terrific, absolutely terrific, amazingly terrific, I exclaimed. It's perfect. Claudia, I stopped. I had almost said genius, but Claudia's pretty touchy about that word. A pro, I finished. The bell rang, and then we had to go inside. But first, we most definitely agreed to spend the weekend working on the Babysitters Club. On Saturday, the 4 members of the Babysitters Club worked very hard. Marianne and Claudia and I all called the families we already babysat for and told them about the club. Then we wrote up a little ad about the note and pinned it into the Storybook News. It would appear Wednesday, and we definitely couldn't wait to see it. Then Stacy had an idea. I think we should elect, officers in the club. We were sitting around Claudia's room as usual. Officers? Claudia repeated, looking confused. She was probably thinking of policemen. Yeah, like a president, a vice president, a secretary, and a treasurer, I supplied. Perfect. 4 officers for the 4 of us. Oh, I get it, said Claudia. Well, I nominate Christy for president. It's her idea of the club. I second it, said Marianne. Me too, Stacy, said Stacy. It's unanimous. I grinned. Wow, thanks you guys. Okay, well, I nominate Claudia for vice president since we're using her room and her phone. She may get a lot of calls to handle when the rest of us aren't here. I second it. Me too, said Stacy. Unanimous again. Claudia beamed. Marianne cleared her throat and looked around nervously. Stacy, if you don't mind, I'd like to be secretary. I'm good at writing things down. That's perfect, said Stacy, because I'm good with money and numbers. I was hoping I could be treasurer anyways. We didn't even bother to vote on Marianne and Stacy since everything was already working out so well. In celebration of new officers, Claudia took out a bag of gummy bears from her pencil case and passed it around. Before the bag even reached Stacy, she leaped up, clapped her hands over her mouth, and exclaimed, "Oh, snap. I've got to go home, but I'll be right back. I promise." "Stacy," I said, "you're still on that dumb diet. You can just say so. You don't have to run away. Look, we'll put the gummy bears back." "No, it's not that. It's just, I forgot something. It'll only take a minute." And at that, Stacy dashed out of Claudia's room. That's all I'm going to be reading today.
Wow, I'm all captivated in the story, just like, okay, what's happening? What's happening? I love the fact that they created their own small board. So that means they're business minded, because when you got a business or an organization, you need a board. So
Yep.
great job, Ayana. Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Ayana, question for you.
Yep.
Can you tell everybody some of the volunteer things that you do in your community? You and your sister
Okay.
as well. Talk about some of the things you guys do, because Aaliyah's not with us today, and there's a reason. Talk about some of the volunteer things you guys do.
Aaliyah's actually at a meeting at her school with the rest of her students, but we're part of this youth empowerment program. It's called the Bronx Yep, and we do a lot of things for the community. Like we have community days where we go out and we clean certain parts of the community, and we do a lot of giveaways. We do Coke giveaways and food giveaways for the holidays. We do a lot of pop-up shops that support small businesses and things like that. And then we do a lot more, but that's all I can name off the top of my head.
Okay. And didn't you recently win an award? One of you guys did. Presented by one of the local city councilors. Was that a while ago? Or am I getting mixed up?
Nope, somebody won something. I remember that.
All right, I thought I was crazy. That was a while ago.
I mean, you are crazy, but I remember that.
I am kind
of
crazy.
while ago? You said the award was a while ago?
Yep. One of you two were dressed up.
Oh, then yeah, that was me. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, my mom. No, because I totally forgot. Like it's sitting in the living room right now. But yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Ayana. I didn't mean to put you on the spot, but I just think some of our kids do some phenomenal things and we don't kind of talk about it enough. So for all of our young scholars, if you guys are, awarded for anything, if you're recognized for something, let us know so we can help share it with the world. All right, Miss Audie, Mr. Rob, back to you guys.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm so excited. I really love how you guys read. I love like the what is it called again, Rob? The word that you used earlier.
Inflection.
I think that's amazing. You guys like have us hooked on your stories and excited to hear the rest of the story. I'm excited for you guys. I would like to pick Zuri to read next. Hi, Zuri.
You're mute.
Let me unmute her.
See if you can. Oh, nice.
You're
You got
unmuted.
it.
Zuri!
Say hi, Zuri.
Zuri Zoo, how you doing?
Good.
That's good. Do you have a book that you're going to read for us today?
Yeah.
Oh, lovely. Can you show us the book? Can we see the cover of it? Oh, nice.
It's called Put Me in the Zoo.
Awesome. I'm excited to hear it, sweetheart. Whenever you're ready, okay?
Put me in the zoo.
Try to project your voice so everybody can hear you, okay? Talk a little louder. Okay, so hold the book up. Let's try to read.
Yay!
Let's try to read the first sentence. We're still trying to recognize our sight words, so. All right, go ahead, try to read it. Let's see what you can do.
I
Will
will go
to the zoo.
to the zoo.
I want to see it. Yes.
I want to see it. Yes, I do.
Turn the page. Will you
You
keep?
flip the page.
Oh, did I skip one? I would like to live this way.
I would like to live this way.
This is where I want to stay.
This is where I want to stay.
Oh.
I'm not very good at trying to get this cameraman right. Will you keep me in the zoo? Good.
Will you keep me in the zoo?
I want to stay in here with you.
I want to stay in here with you.
We do not want you in the zoo.
We do not want you. No.
Out you go. Out with you.
Out you go. Out with you.
Why did they put me out this way?
Why did they put me out this way?
I should be in. I want to stay.
I should be in. I want to stay.
Next page. Why should they put you in the zoo?
Why should they put you in the zoo?
What good are you? What can you do?
What good are you? What can you do?
Show the picture. Multitasking here.
I could turn my spots blue.
Okay. And now the spots are orange. Good. Say he looks very good that way.
Say, he looks really good that way.
Now look at this. What do you see? What's that say?
Yeah.
What color is the spots?
Green.
Green spots. As green can be.
Green spots. As green can be.
Violet spots. Say you are good.
Violet spots. Say you are good.
Do more. We wish you would.
Do more. We wish you would.
I can do more. Look, this is new. Blue, orange, green, and violet.
too.
Oh, they would put me in the
Zoo.
if they could see
What I can do.
job. Right here. What's that?
I could put my spots on the spots. I could put my spots on a wall.
Job.
I could put them on a cat. I could put them on a hat. I could put them on you.
I can put them on the zoo, and
I could put them on you.
I can put my spots
On you.
on you. Good job. You know that word? Look. Look at this now. 1, 2, 3.
I
Can
put
them.
on a tree.
Good job. You read that sentence all by yourself. A and D. And now,
Now
when I say
say
1, 2,
2,
3,
3,
all.
on
What's this? MY. My
my
spots are back on me.
Hey.
See all the spots are back on me? It's pretty magical. What's this word? Look now.
Now,
Look now.
now,
Here is one thing more. I take my spots, I make them.
4.
Oh,
Oh,
they would put me in the zoo if they could see what I can do. I take my spots, I take them all, and I can make them very small. Good job. I'm having a hard time turning the page. And now you see, I take them all, and I can make them
we're
very tall. And when I want to have more fun,
I could make them fun.
I take my spots and make them one. Good job. Yes, they should put me in the zoo. The things my spots and I can do. See, I can put them in a box. I take them out. They look like socks. And I can put them way up high. Up they go. I make them fly. I put them high up in the air. My spots fly here. My spots fly there. I call them back now. Recognize these words, these number words? 1, 2, 3. Now all my spots are back with me. Tell me now, you two. Do you like the things I do? Tell me now, you two. Will they put me in the zoo? We like all the things you do. We like your spots. We like you too. But you should not be in the zoo. No, you should not be in the zoo. With all the things that you can do, the circus is the place for you. What's this word? We know this word.
Yes.
Yes, this is where I want to be. The circus is the place for me. And that's the end.
Good job, Zuri. You read better than your mama. Good job. Yay.
Nice job, Zuri. Wonderful.
Yay.
How old are you, Zuri?
5.
Amazing. And what level are you at in school? What grade?
Preschool.
Preschool. That's amazing. You did a wonderful job reading. Thank you.
Good job.
Big hand clap.
Yes.
Nice job.
Yes.
Zuri, let me spray your nose.
All right, scholars.
Yep, we got Daniel.
Up next, we have Daniel. Hello, sir. How are you doing today? Daniel, are you there? Hey.
Daniel doesn't
How's
want
it
that
going?
theme music.
Daniel, you on?
Got the music.
He doesn't want that theme music.
Hello. So the book I will be reading is a continuation of a book that I've been reading.
I don't know if anyone can you all hear Daniel?
Yes,
Hello?
I can hear him.
Okay.
You gotta talk a little louder, Daniel. You gotta project a little bit.
Okay, so the book that I will be reading is a continuation of the book that I was already reading, The Vanderbeekers of 141st Street.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, good morning. I forgot.
Good morning.
I haven't bounced a basketball in front of the building in months, Oliver said. What's a lease? Lainey asked again. Issa has to practice violin in the freaking dungeon, said Jessie. Language, Mama warned at the same time Issa said, I like practicing down there. Papa looked at Lainey. We have a lease with Mr. Beardeman. It's an agreement between us for living here. Lainey considered what Papa said as she prepped in another somersault. So that means that means he doesn't want us? It's not that, Mama trailed off. I think the Beetleman needs hugs, Lainey decided. She completed an accident-free somersault, then rolled over to lie on her stomach, searching for her bunny, who had taken refuge under the couch. Jessie glanced at the calendar on the wall. So that's it? We've only got 11 days left here? He's really gonna make us move right after Christmas? Asked Issa. Is it because I can't keep Franz quiet? Asked Hyacinth as she chewed her fingernails. When Franz heard Hyacinth say his name, his tail gave a little wag, then his eyes fluttered open, then drifted closed again. I think it's my fault, Issa said. Her siblings stared at her. No one could imagine perfect Issa ever being the cause of getting kicked out of their home. Because of my violin playing. Kids, it's no one's fault, Mama interjected. Remember how Papa and Uncle Arthur installed those energy-saving windows last year? Those windows are much more soundproof than the old ones. We've done all we can do to try to persuade Mr. Beardeman to let us stay. I even left a box of lavender macarons outside his door. Mama blinked rapidly. As a professional pastry chef, she took macaroons very seriously. What a waste, grumbled Oliver, who also took macaroons very seriously. Will our new place have a basement so I can practice? Isa asked. I'm only moving if I can have a science lab in the new place with a Bunsen burner and a new Erlenmeyer flasks. Jessie said stubbornly. Mine gonna look exactly the same, right? Like exactly, asked Oliver. Will we move close by so friends can keep all his doggy friends? Asked Hyacinth. At At Hyacinth's comment, the other kids' eyes widened. They never considered that they might have to leave the neighborhood, where they knew everyone on the block by name, age, and hairstyle. I've lived in this neighborhood my whole life, Papa said. My job is here. Only Hyacinth noticed that he didn't answer the question or look anyone in the eye when he said that. Listen, kids, I have to fix the wobbly banister on the second floor and then take the building trash out. But we're not done talking about this, okay? Papa took his worn blue coveralls off the coat hanger and pulled them over the work clothes he was wearing for his computer repair job. The coveralls looked like something an auto mechanic would wear. Papa, Papa observed the somber faces of the kids. I'm really sorry about this. I know that you guys love this place, but I promise this will turn out okay. He slipped out the door. The kids hated when their own parents talked about things turning out okay. How could they turn out? How could they know? Before the kids could start in the questions again, with the questions again, Mama saw full pained. She glanced at the caller, then back at the kids. I have to get this, but don't worry. We'll talk about more. We'll talk about it more later. I promise. The kids watched her rush up the stairs, and then heard her say, "Yes, Mrs. Mitchell. Thank you for calling. We're very interested in that apartment you listed." Followed by her bedroom door shutting. "Move," said Oliver, breaking the silence. "That's bananas, rotten Bearderman." I can I can't imagine not living here," said Isa, her fingers running over her violin strings. "I really hope it wasn't my violin playing that caused all this." Isa discovered Mr. Biederman's particular distaste for instruments 6 years ago, when she was in first grade. She was performing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star on her tiny 1/8 sized instrument for their second floor Miss Josie. Isa stood outside Miss Josie's apartment, but halfway through her song, Mr. Bearderman's door on the third floor burst open. He yelled down the staircase for the terrible racket to stop, or he will call the police. Then the door slammed. The police! On a 6-year-old violinist! Isa was in tears, and Miss Josie invited her in and fed her cookies from a delicate china dish and gave her lace handkerchief to dry a pretty laced handkerchief to dry her eyes. Then Miss Josie insisted that Isa keep the handkerchief, which Isa to this day sewed in her violin case. "It makes no sense," said Jessie, pacing back and forth between the couch and the picture window. She ran her hands through her wild hair, which made her look like a crazed scientist.
Uh-oh, did Daniel freeze up?
I think Daniel froze.
What kind of Wi-Fi they got over there in New York?
Ayana, you still there?
Is that you, Daryl?
What?
All that noise in the background?
Yeah, I have kids. I'm a working dad, all right?
Well, Daniel froze up, and I was getting really into that story. That's a great story.
The Vanderbeek.
Everybody's stories are great stories, and I love the passion. And first off, I love the commitment of our young scholars to get up on a Saturday morning where they can be eating Apple Jacks with high fructose corn syrup.
I forgot about. I had the group today. I'm like, wait, what? And my mom said, I'm like, wait, I forgot I had that today. And she reminded
Well,
me
you showed
yesterday.
up. That's amazing.
I'm like, wait, what?
I love seeing
Oh
you
yeah,
guys on
today's
Saturdays.
Saturday.
You show up for yourselves. It's wonderful.
Yeah,
And
they can
you're
be.
learning.
I was
Learning
hoping
how to
that my
read.
best friend would join in the group today, because then I wouldn't have to be the youngest one here.
Oh, well,
Oh.
Zuri was the youngest. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zuri's youngest
Yeah,
today.
yeah. Well, maybe your best friend will come. You know, sometimes people need some time and they need some coaxing.
Her mom hasn't told her about it. I'm the one that told her.
Oh, okay, okay. Well,
Okay.
yeah.
Sorry, I just got the message and Jaden's on his way back in now.
Oh, okay.
Here's Daniel. Welcome back.
Hey now.
You switched locations.
You ready to read again?
I think he's frozen again.
Frozen again?
Is he frozen?
Yep. Frozen.
We're having technical difficulties with our buddy Daniel.
There he is.
Here he is.
Okay.
Sorry, my computer had shut off, so I'm using something else right now.
It's okay.
It's all right. Are you gonna continue reading?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not gonna be reading for too much longer though.
Okay.
And good morning again.
Good morning.
It makes no sense, said Jessie, pacing back and forth between the couch and the picture window. She ran her hands through her wild hair, which made her look like a crazed scientist. Newton's third law says that for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. Now consider this. Papa does so much for the building. He keeps the front stoop clean. He rakes leaves. He shovels snow. He saves the Bearderman so much. He saved the Bearderman so much money by doing all the repairs himself. So what about Newton's third law? The Bearderman kicking us out of the building is not an equal reaction. I want to see a Newton, exclaimed Lainey. I don't think that would apply here, said Issa, unconsciously adjusting her neat ponytail into an even neater ponytail. Newton's laws apply to everything, Jessie said with her I'm right and no one can convince me otherwise voice. Uncle Arthur helps with the big repairs. Oliver Oliver commented as he searched through the stack of ancient encyclopedias for one marked with an N. Papa does all the daily stuff, Jessie pointed out, and he fixes Uncle Arthur's laptop whenever it breaks. Oliver pulled the correct encyclopedia from the stack and flipped through it. Newton is this guy, he said to Lainey, pointing at a photo in the book. He has very nice hair, said Lainey, running her fingers over the picture. Don't read that, scolded Jessie. Those books are 60 years old and full of inaccurate science. Okay, people, Asa interrupted. Let's get back on the topic. I figure we have until Christmas to convince Miriam to let us stay. That's only 4.5 days, Jessie exclaimed. She looked at her watch. 106 hours. Exactly less than 5 days, people. Who has ideas? Give him lots of hugs, suggested Lainey. Oliver rubbed his hands together and raised one eyebrow. Let's spray paint his door. He gave a dramatic pause, with disgusting bathroom words. Issa ignored her brother. Lainey, I think you're right. We should try to do nice things for the Bearderman. Change his mind about us. Jessie and Oliver looked skeptical. Hyacinth looked scared. Lainey looked ready to give out hugs. Lots of hugs. I'm gonna stop there for right now.
Nice job. Thank you, Daniel.
Good job, Daniel. Thank you. Thank you for troubleshooting your technical difficulties too. We appreciate that.
Definitely a good job. Is that all for readers?
Yes, sir.
That is all of our scholars. You all did an amazing job. Thank you so much. As Mr. Rob mentioned, like, I love that you guys show up for yourselves every Saturday. You're here, you're ready to learn, you're ready to read, participate, have a little bit of conversation, and this is like a great start to the day. So, congratulations to you guys. Yeah, you deserve a hand.
Now, everyone's going to
Definitely.
have a great weekend now.
Definitely. Also, as Mr. Darrell had mentioned, any extracurricular things, any extracurricular like organizations that you're into, like definitely feel free to share with us because we love hearing about our scholars, within the community.
I think Amaya has her hand up.
Yep.
I do. I work for Trust Angels, so I help my mama with stuff like we do activities we did last year. I think last year we did Kwanzaa, and we learned about all the candles, and we learned the words.
Amazing.
And we did a backpack, like we painted backpacks, and we give away stuff and go to we went to Boys and Girls Club, and they had a little small business outside.
Nice.
And then we did yoga with Miss Audie.
Hey.
That's dope. I'm digging it.
Hey. Yes, I love you hearing your involvement. I think that is amazing. Evelyn, do you have a question?
Do you know who made the Ellie books?
Say it again.
Do you know who made the Ellie books?
I know.
Who?
Stephanie Morero Wilson.
Yep, my mom.
Nice.
Mom. And I think at some point she's going to come on and she's going to talk about her incredible book. And she even donated 15 books to the Young Scholars Program. So everybody will be sent a book. You'll all get a chance to read it. And we can all talk about it after we read it.
One of the Ellie stickers.
Nice.
Beautiful.
That's what's up.
Very
wonderful.
creative. Very creative.
Yeah, I can't wait to get my book. That's what's up. Is Evelyn doing the public relations for the family business?
I love it. That's wonderful.
And Evelyn's brother doing security.
Right.
Let's turn it over to Mr. Rob.
Okay. Oh, you turning it over to me. Well,
yep.
Young Scholars, thank you so much for joining us on this beautiful, cold, frigid Saturday. I mean, because most of us are up in the New England, New York area, so it's cold here. We had some young scholars from Atlanta area, which was a lot warmer, so we're gonna try to get them back. But again, we appreciate your commitment. We appreciate your energy when you're reading, and we love seeing the growth. And just keep doing what you're doing, and we will see you next Saturday.
Hold on, Rob. I just got a text message. Someone said to ask Ayana what YEP stands for. What is YEP? What does that stand for?
Okay. So YEP stands for Youth Empowerment Program.
Oh.
Like I mentioned before, we do a lot of things in our community, and we do a lot with the youth.
Yep.
Empowerment program, but we do a lot with the youth to make sure that to kind of keep us off the streets and keep us from doing the things that we're not supposed to be doing. And I'm actually PR. So.
Nice.
And you what was that last part?
Oh, I said I'm actually PR and Aaliyah's president. I mean, no, VP, she's vice president.
Okay.
Oh, okay. All right. Look at that.
And you're a future congresswoman, right?
Bye.
Thanks, Ayana. All right, like Rob said, thank you, everybody. We will see you next Saturday. If you have friends who want to get down and read, invite them along. We'll send everybody the link. Later.
Later,
Bye-bye.
everybody.
Bye-bye.